on to the quick single segment. I hope you enjoy it.
In your career, who was the best runner between the wickets? And you can't say AB.
Of course, it's not even a question. I mean, I've been asked this question before. AB has been by far the fastest I've run with between wickets. The only other guy I had so much coordination and understanding with was MS. Now, I don't know about the speeds matching between the wickets, but him and MS, I would not even have to call, and he can vouch for it. We hardly called for runs.
You can't say Virat.
I've never played with MS because he would have been right up my, my list as well. No, definitely Faf du Plessis.
Cool. Next one. The best atmosphere you've ever experienced in your career? Virat?
Myself. Atmosphere, it's a simple one for me. I felt like the IPL final in 2016 was a very special day. It was very, very intense. But above that, obviously, is the World Cup final of 2011 that we played in Mumbai. That was an unbelievable atmosphere. I've never experienced anything like that. Till 23rd October against Pakistan at the MCG with 94,000 people. That night was something else. It was more than a sporting experience, something that feels fresh even now when I just think about it.
Awesome. AB, yours?
Best atmosphere. It's a tough one because it makes me want to cry. 2015 Eden Park. We lost to New Zealand, but I remember sitting in the dungeon, or they call it the change room, but you're basically locked up in some prison cell at the bottom of the stadium. You can't see anything. You just have this little television screen. And we could hear the commentators going, the start of the semi-finals of the World Cup, and all of a sudden the crowd got so loud we couldn't hear the volume on the TV anymore when the first ball was bowled. So I was very lucky or happy that day that I wasn't Quinton de Kock or Hashim Amla facing the first ball. But I was in at number 4. I straight away went to the toilet. I all of a sudden felt like everything needs to come out from my mouth and my ears and everything. It was so nerve-wracking. But the minute, as every other game, the minute I crossed that boundary rope, I felt like, okay, I'm at home. I'm ready for this. I'm prepared. I've done this this is what I've prepared for my whole life. So Eden Park 2015. Sorry for the long question. And by the way, quick singles from next week onwards. We're going to have one raw egg here. If I can't answer the questions within, I would say 5 or 10 seconds, we'll still get the details ready for you guys. I'm going to have to, at the end of the segment, have a raw egg on air, live.
Yeah, because you definitely run over time, but maybe it's Virat's fault. So
it's
let me move
fault.
Quickly. You'd spoken about the best chirps. I don't need you to tell us the chirp because it might not be for TV, but the person who ever gave you the most memorable chirp when you were out in the middle batting. I'll start with you, Virat, because obviously you're a very nice guy. You've never said anything on the field. But who's chirped you the best and you remembered it?
The best chirp? I'll have to think about it. I don't think anyone's gotten me so bad yet.
Oh my
It's a
word.
challenge, eh? Okay. AB?
Yeah, for me it's Zaire Khan. I batted at Kingsmead. I'll never forget this in my entire life. And we're playing India, obviously. And I was batting well. I was in good form, seeing the ball well. And Sri Sant was still bowling at the time. We had this beautiful seam. But I was on top of him that day. I was like flicking him through the leg side. I was in control, letting it go. And the final over before lunch, there was about 4 minutes left. And he had 3 balls to go. And I decided, you know what? It's time for us to go to lunch here. We don't want to lose another wicket. 3 balls. I've looked after the first one. I wasted time. I tied my shoelaces. 1 minute to go. Last ball. I walked away. Something in my eye. It was nasty. And boom, he nicked me off. So it felt like the whole world came down on top of my head. And I walked off. And the next minute, someone just ran past me. And it was Zaire Khan. And he looked at me in the eye and he said, "It's a funny old game, AB, isn't it?" So I'll never forget that. It's a funny old game. Every time I see Zach, I tell him that. It's a funny old game, man.
Virat, when you see AB in India, please remind him what a quick single is, because he's telling stories, which is the wrong segment. But anyway, both of you, just the answer. If you could name one bowler to bowl for your life, who would it be? Virat.
One bowler to bowl for my life. Ooh, quick answer. God, he's putting me on the spot.
We'll
Okay,
get that
Dale
raw
Steyn.
egg ready.
Hey, you'd be in trouble.
Dale
Eh?
Steyn.
Okay, let's put AB on the spot. You think about it for a second, Virat, because we are blindsiding you.
I'll give him the secret now. Just go for someone abroad. You're not allowed to pick someone in your own country. Okay, so that helps. It makes it a bit easier. I'd say Muhammad Asif.
Okay, that's not
That guy with the new ball. Oh, headache.
unplayable. Virat is still thinking.
Dale Steyn.
Oh, well done. Well done. That's not a bad call.
Okay, we've got two more. You both love Test cricket, and one of the best occasions you can go to is MCG Boxing Day or a Lord's Test match. So if you had to choose which Test you'd play again for the rest of your life, which one would it be, MCG or Lord's? Virat first?
Boxing Day, MCG.
Oof. That's you said Boxing Day, but if I had to pick a ground with a packed stadium, Lords.
Okay. And then final one, we started with the best, but who's the worst runner that you've ever run with between wickets, Virat?
That's a controversial one. Cheteshwar Pujara.
Shami means well.
After
I
AB
knew you were gonna
answers,
say.
I'll tell you a story on it. After AB answers.
I knew you were gonna say. Mine is controversial as well because it's the best run I've ever run with as well, which is Faf. But he's run me out like I think 7 times in my career. So Fafi, you're gonna have to. I know there are a lot of worse runners than him, but we've had some misunderstandings. Tell us the story, V.
It was a Centurion Test match on the tour 2018, and actually I remember first innings I walked down into the dugout to sit because the stairs are never ending. So I came down. As soon as I sat on the seat, I heard celebrations, and I was just taking care of my stuff. And then I saw the replays on the big screen. Pujara plays the first ball to wide mid-on, and he runs off. I think it was Lungi, if I'm not wrong, at wide mid-on. Picks up the ball, one-hander, runs him out first innings. No worries. Okay, cool. The second innings, Parthiv Patel plays a ball wide of gully, and AB is running behind the ball. And after AB's picked up the ball, Pujara is called for the third run on his call, running to the danger end. When they showed the replays, there was no one on the screen. It was Quinny just taking the bails off. There was no one there. I was like, you've run yourself out in the first innings. How can you be so brave to take on the quickest man on the field and then not be seen in the frame when you're being run out? I was like, that has
so
been the
funny.
worst call I've seen in my life.
Listen, my bud, thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Zams, I think you enjoyed it as well. I hope your viewers enjoyed it, having the great man, the genius, as I mentioned on my socials, none other than Virat Kohli. Biscuit, thank you so much, and all the very best tomorrow. We will definitely be watching. I know the whole world will be watching. Enjoy every minute out there. Get that mind fresh and go take them down.
Cheers. Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure. Cheers, Biscuit.
Cheers, Virat.